This mini yoga flow offers a challenge for those of you who would like to focus on strength building, spinal flexibility, and balance. Take a few moments here to begin to move your spine. Seated cat-cow, flexion and extension. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you roll back. Find your pace. Listen to your body. I'm moving a little more rapidly in this flow, preparing us to mobilize into action. It's playful, it's joyful. Let yourself find it in your body. Explore your range of motion. As you're ready, we'll transition by bringing your legs out in front of you, your hands behind you, fingertips facing towards your buttocks. Again, lifting your chest, this time lifting your hips off the floor and lowering down in a reverse tabletop position. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Once again, find your rhythm with the breath and movement, lifting and lowering at a pace that works for you, feeling the strength in your legs and arms, the openness across your throat. And we'll find a transition again, lowering slowly with the strength of your core to your back. And then bring your hands behind your head. We'll feel into the core here, strengthening as you lift and lower upper body. Feeling your feet rooted in the ground. Exhaling as you lift, inhale to lower. Again, your pace. Now you can keep your feet on the earth, or you might extend them up overhead. Strong legs, flexing your feet, continuing to lift and lower through the upper body. Feeling this through the abdominal muscles, nice and strong. And then we'll lower the legs, transitioning into a bridge pose with the arms up overhead. This time, lifting your hips and lowering down. The emphasis today is on feeling your feet rooted, the strength of your legs, and the flexibility of your spine. Moving with your breath and eventually keeping your hips lifted and lifting right leg up. Then we'll cross right ankle over the left thigh. Little figure 4, and we'll switch sides, lifting the left leg, a brief pause, and then crossing your ankle, pressing into the right foot, a little lift, and then re-extend your leg and lower. Eventually lowering your hips to the ground, settling for a moment and then drawing your knees in to rock up to sitting. Here we'll find a few pulsations, feet onto the earth, really set your heels down. You can keep the toes lifted even. And then allow your core to support you as you roll back and come back to seated. You might even flow through your arms. Feel an openness in the chest even as you strengthen through your core. All of these pulsations can be adapted to your body. When you're ready, rolling up and over the legs into a tabletop. Again, an opportunity to move the spine at a pace that supports you. Inhale to lift head, tail. Exhale to arch the spine. And then when you're ready, lifting the hips, we'll transition to a downward facing dog. Let this be yours, finding some movement through your legs, your spine. And then eventually we'll move between downward dog and a plank, rocking hips back and forward. You can imagine like a wave cresting to the shore, how your spine can roll in these transitions, Eventually, you might even explore dropping your hips and coming into more of a upward facing dog or cobra and shifting back to down dog. You can either go between down dog and plank or down dog and upward dog, whatever suits you and your practice. Exhale as you press back. Inhale as you roll forward, and then walking your feet forward into a standing forward fold. Knees can be bent, palms might be onto the earth, or you might prefer ragdoll. And then we'll find a halfway lift and lower. Again, an undulation of the spine, these pulsation movements, facilitating blood and lymph flow through the body. One more like that, and then transition to standing. Arms can lift and then lower the hands. Connecting between heaven and earth. And we'll find a sun salutation. Inhale to breathe your arms up, and exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, we'll find that halfway lift once again. And exhale, planting your hands and stepping your feet back. Now, you always have an option to hop back if you prefer. You can lower to the earth for a cobra or halfway down for an upward dog. And once again, we'll press back to downward facing dog. Finding your breath, some subtle pulsations here. And eventually we'll transition to the front of the mat. You might walk or even hop, maybe hover your way to the front of the mat. Inhale to halfway, exhale to fold in. And inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, releasing your hands. Repeating, inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale your way to downward dog, maybe hopping your feet back, landing in low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. This is a home base to find your breath, feeling your strength in between your points of contact with the earth, palms and soles of your feet. Once again, gazing forward, preparing to jump or step your way to the front of your mat. Maybe you hover before placing the feet down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And inhale all the way to standing. Arms down by your sides. We'll change it up here. Utkatasana, lightning bolt pose, awkward standing pose, bending the knees, reaching the arms up. Once again, grounded to the earth, reaching to the realms of potential. And on an exhale, sweeping your arms back. You might pause here, really feeling the openness in the chest. Maybe you even lift your heels like you're floating, balancing just on the balls of the feet, using your gaze for balance, and then replace the heels on the earth, sweeping the arms up before you fold forward again. Allowing yourself to connect to the breath. Inhale halfway. This time exhale into a squat. We'll prepare for crow pose, Bakasana, by setting the knees on the backs of the triceps towards the armpits. Maybe one foot or both feet leave the earth. Remember to breathe. Either step or launch both feet back behind you, landing in a low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Connecting to breath. And then we'll find a warrior one by inhaling right leg behind, exhaling into a low lunge. Grounding through your feet, and inhale to draw both arms up overhead. Your gaze can follow. Exhale to the earth. We'll find this on side 2. You can take a vinyasa in between. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. And lifting left leg on your inhale. Exhale to step forward and through. Grounding the feet, lifting the arms, the upper body. Warrior 1. Exhaling to the earth. Low lunge. And your way to downward facing dog. Now you might choose to repeat a few more of these sun salutations. You can rewind the video and watch them again or practice on your own. When you feel ready, we'll find our way into Pigeon on the right side, lifting right leg again and settling the right knee toward your right hand. I invite you to start lifted, pressing into the hands. Back toes can be tucked under, feeling that spinal flexibility again as you lift up, open across the heart. And then lowering down on an exhale, settling into resting pigeon. You might untuck the back toes. Find your way into feeling settled, heavy, supported by the earth, softening any unnecessary holding or vigilance. And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides, lifting through the upper body and stepping right foot back to meet the left. Lifting left leg, left knee can come through and under. Allowing yourself to lift up at first, finding that length of the spine, connecting to breath, feeling your strength before surrendering. This dance of will and surrender, something that we all find in our lives. It's like the 2 wings of the bird that allow it to take flight. Knowing when to challenge ourselves, when to be willful, and when we need to soften, let go. Recognize what we cannot control. Like a prayer, we just rest into the earth, trusting that there's something here to hold us. When you're ready, pressing into your palms, lifting up once again. This time you can shift your weight into your left hip, drawing right leg around, and slowly, with the support of your core, roll down onto your back. We'll prepare to come into a final resting shape, a Savasana, but for a moment, you can draw your knees in, you can hug everything. Maybe you'd like to take a happy baby, taking hold of your ankles or the soles of your feet. You can rock a little side to side, extend one leg and the other. One more hug into center. You might even lift your head. And then again, surrender to the earth, long and heavy. One deep inhale. And exhale, letting go, softening the jaw, the face, the shoulders, muscles of the neck, the heart, open through the hips and legs, resting into gravity, heavy, surrendered. Stay as long as you'd like. Namaste.